All right. All right.
Very
Now,
cool. Yeah,
pass it over
yeah,
to
yeah.
you.
Yes. Okay. So, hello everyone. I think I know everyone on this call, so this is
Yeah.
good. So we can skip all the formalities. This is very cool. So I want to figure out kind of. Well, I guess you guys kind of tell me. Maybe tell me where you guys are all at. What you're pushing for. I just want to hop on tonight and see if there's any way that I can help, any way that I can serve. I didn't really have anything sort of put together formally, but I know that some people have some big goals, like Shadon and Amber. I know that they're pushing towards executive director and close. What's up, Shadon? And same thing with Susan, and Yadira just signed up her first client. And Daniel's getting into fights with people.
Hey, trying to get global, man.
So I guess you guys hi Abigail, you guys let's I guess let's if you have something you want to get better with or you want to work on or that you've been running into, I guess just kind of come off of mute and then let me write these things down and then let me address them. Does that work? Because we have how long does your call go, James? An hour?
Yeah,
Okay.
till an hour till 9.
Okay, cool. So Susan, what do you want help with?
All right. So my biggest
Oh man,
challenge
this sounds
is
deep.
what's that?
No, I said the way you started off, it sounds deep. Let me get really ready for this one. Okay.
Well, okay. So I am really struggling this month. It probably will be my worst month at this point. I mean, I still have a few more days, but I have been trying to follow up, doing the challenges every day and trying to keep up. Um, so the biggest issues that I've seen is I've approached people for potential coaches, and everyone comes back and says no, and I understand it takes time. I was one of those people, but when you're trying to hit a goal, it's kind of like, oh, it's not happening. So that's one. The second thing is, I try to start the conversations, and some people engage, and then I try to find some way to relate and try to share, and then the conversation completely stops, so they don't continue to reply. That's the second one. Same thing if I try to offer coaching, through Facebook. It's like I say something that, and I'm following the system. So I text what we have in the system, and it just stops. It doesn't continue, even though I try to follow up a couple of days later. People are very hesitant about wanting to hear more. Even this one person that she approached me, hey, I've seen all these transformations that you're posting on your feed. Um, I need to start learning how to eat healthy. And I said, okay, let's get on a call. I sent her that message, and as soon as I said that, I didn't hear back from her. So I'm not sure, what to do at this point, when you're just not you're trying to follow the system, but people are not engaging. What do you do?
hmm Okay, I think I understand. All right, so I can talk about that. Who else? Come off of mute. Let's hear it. I'll write it down. I'll answer it. Abigail, how are you doing? What do you want help with?
Hi, sorry, I was a little busy, but yeah, same thing. Coaches, I've been trying to reach out to family members, friends, but it's always no, I don't have any time. They're very hesitant, like, oh, I don't know. and I don't know what to tell them. Like, I don't, to my family, like, I feel I'm pushing them. Like, I tell them, no, like, this is good. You know, you guys could do it. I've been doing it. But then they just look at me like, I don't think it's going to work. So that's my issue right there, that I'm trying to find coaches and people to help me and help them, you know, earn some money. Cause I know family members and friends that financially they need help. And I'm trying to give them this opportunity for them to be at home and work from home. But it's like, they don't give me a yes or no, or same thing like Susan. I have one potential client that I reach out to her. She doesn't respond to me. She doesn't answer me. And I told Danny, I'm like, what do I do? Like, I've given her, hey, you know, you could do this. Your business is suffering. You know, you have this option. You could be at home with your children and you could earn money. But she hasn't even responded to me. I sent her the video about the coaching, explaining a little bit more about that, and nothing. So it's like, that's my issue. Like, I don't know what else to do, if I should just leave them or keep pushing them. I don't know. And sponsoring too, that's one thing, like, I'm having issue how to sponsor.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
I understand. Abigail, give me a snapshot of where your business is right now. How many clients or coaches are you supporting?
Clients 5, coaches, no, not yet. I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 7 potential coaches that I've reached out to, but they haven't responded back to me.
Okay, so let's dive into this then. So these 7 people, tell me about these 7 people. Tell me how you approach them, and tell me what did you say to them, and tell me how many people per day are you approaching, or about how many people per week are you approaching? And then I'm going to come to Susan. I'm going to ask the same sorts of questions.
Okay. Basically, let me see. Like, my sister-in-law, I text her, and I pretty much text them sort of the same. Hey, how are you? Just wanted to say hi. I was thinking about you. Let me see.
Tell me verbatim what you said.
Okay. Let me see. Hey girl, how are you? You know, I'm doing the Optivia program and I became a health coach. I wanted to share with you the opportunity to be a coach yourself. You have determination, loyalty, and commitment. You can receive $500 a month for coaching. Who doesn't want $500 extra? Would you be interested? And she right away said, it sounds intriguing. I could go over to your house at 3 next Tuesday. We'll talk about it. Okay. And she came over and I told her about the program. I didn't know how to explain it to her. I just told her my experience, how I saw the need financially for me to be at home with my son. She works part-time. And I told her, you know, I know you as well are looking for something else. You could do this on the side while doing your part-time job. And she's like, okay, you know, let me think about it. And I sent her the video that Danny sent me about explaining more about the health coaching, the opportunity. And I texted her, I followed up a day after, and I told her, hey, you know, were you able to watch the video? No, I'm sorry, I was busy, but I'll watch it at lunchtime. I texted her back the following day and I was like, hey, were you able to watch the video? Let me know what you think. You'll be a great fit for this and get some extra money. And that's all. I never heard from her. And then the other 7 as well, I tell them, hey, you know, you are great. You would be a great coach. You have all these qualities. You're already doing it. You're already reaching. I have one friend that she does a keto diet. She has her YouTube. She has her Instagram. And I told her, hey, you're already doing it. You're already doing it on social media. I'm like, why don't you just, you know, step it up, buy your kit. I'll be there, you know, and I'll be helping you. She's like, I just have a lot of plate. I have a lot of things on my plate right now. I have 3 children. You know, it sounds good, but I'm not ready right now. And I'm like, okay. So that's when I'm like, I don't know what else to do. So that's how I kind of start with reaching out. And I'm trying to reach out to 5 people a day.
Reach out to people, 5 people a day to do what?
Coaching.
So you are approaching 5 people a day,
Yeah.
which is good.
Yeah.
Okay, the last 5 people you've approached, tell
Mhm.
me what you said to them.
That what I just read to you.
Mm-hmm.
My sister-in-law, I have Jael, Christy, my cousin.
Okay, read to me what you said to them.
Okay. The other girl's in Spanish, so I'll try to translate it.
Just
I
say it
told-
in Spanish.
okay.
I got
Okay.
bilingual over here, man. I mean,
Okay.
no, just kidding, but translate it. It's all good.
So we did a health assessment a couple months ago, and I just, she told me I have my own business. I work 4 days a week. So I reached out to her again. I'm like, hey, how are you doing? I've been thinking about you.
Mm-hmm.
How's your business going?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, you know what? Right now, it's really slow because of these days. And I'm like, oh, because of the holidays? And she's like, yeah, it's kind of slow. And I told her, oh, I completely understand. I'm like, hey, remember how I expressed to you that I'm a health coach? How would you, and Octavia, le dije, we're offering this little side job to become a health coach. We're just helping people, help them lose weight, feel better. You could win a little extra money, $500 a month, for helping, let's say 5 people. I'm like, would you be interested? She never got back to me. And then I followed up with her. I'm like, hey, how are you? I just wanted to say hi. Were you able to read my text about the health coaching? She's like, yeah, how does it work? So I explained it to her, and I'm like, hey, you know what? Let's set up a date tonight or tomorrow. I'm free these days. So never got back to me. So last time I just told her on Friday, I'm like, hey, I just wanted to share with you this video, the Tibia coaching opportunity, so you could see it. And that was it. She read it, but she never got back to me.
Okay. What's sort of your expectation? Like, what are you expecting to happen?
Like when I reach out to them?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, at least a response. I'm expecting a response back.
Okay. We got to change your expectations.
Because I get bummed out. I'm like, I'm trying to reach out to them, and I feel like, and that's one thing that I'm trying to work, I feel like I'm bothering them, and I know I'm not supposed to think that way.
Okay, I want all of you guys to see. So my buddy Sean is on the line. Do you guys see that box that says Sean Henley? So he's a brand new coach. He's very similar. He's starting his journey very similar to the way James did. Sean has like a 12-pack like James, right? So he didn't really start this. Sorry. He didn't really start this. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
He didn't start this from the sort of the way that a lot of us started this. He started it from he wants to build a business. He's an entrepreneur. He has his own business. Let me just show you instead of telling you. Let me just show you. So this is really important. One of the things that's happening right now is we have to be very, very careful, you guys, in order to not create our own suffering. And generally, we create our own suffering because we create these expectations of how we think things should be going. Does that make sense? So because we have an expectation that these folks should be getting back to us, and if they don't, then that means something is wrong, then we start to get discouraged and things like that. That is just natural. Let me show you. So Sean just started coaching like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I want to show you when I actually first started talking to him. Sean's going to laugh at this. Okay. So you see this date right here? You guys see that? What date does that say, Abigail?
Oh my God. February 21st, 2013.
And Sean just started coaching when?
Oh, 2018, this month.
Yeah, how many years is that?
4 years?
Yeah, it's like 5 years.
Oh, wow.
And so what were you saying again about like a day or a week or something like that?
Yeah. A day, 2 days.
You guys catching my point real fast?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we just need to talk about managing expectations, managing emotions, and just having a system, a follow-up system to really just show your heart with these folks. Listen, we talk to a lot of people per day because not everyone's going to be ready. A lot of this is about timing. Do you know it took me a good probably 7 months from the time. And I didn't even sit down. The only reason why I sat down with my coach is not because I wanted to do this program. It's because she was a dental hygienist and I just got a new job to where I needed to build relationships with dentists. And she kept bugging me about this little thing. I thought it was like some weird weight loss thing that old people did because she's like 60 years old, right? So she was reaching out to me and my wife, and I was like, "Why does Bessie keep reaching out to us about this old person's program?" And then I got a new job months later, like 6 months later, and I said, "You know what? Let me come sit with you because I have some friends who can stand to be healthier. I will refer them to you if you can get me meetings with dentists." That's the only reason why I sat down with her. If I didn't take that new job, I don't even know if I would even be here. But that was like 6 months later. So you see, Sean, look, I want you to just go through this and see how many times I offered coaching to him or try to talk to him about this program. He even referred me his mom when, like way back then, right? 2013. I approached him again. See what I'm saying? 2013. Didn't hear anything. Look, when was this? What month was that? March?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. What month is this now?
Oh, wow.
October. He finally gets back to me a couple hours later, right? We're supposed to connect, never connected. Now it's 2015. I'm still building relationships. I'm sending him stuff. He probably never even looked at it. I'm following up. We're chatting. January 5th, 2016, I sent him a video text telling him how dope I thought he was and how he could build his business. Didn't hear anything, right? He never, this was January 5th. Never even replied back. Now it's December. I finally get something from him. See what I'm saying? Almost a whole year went by. We catch up, a little bit more, nothing. Nothing. All these years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then look, again. Oh, this is when we finally caught up. Now, I want to show you. Okay. Here, August 21st. So now it's the right timing, right? August 21st of this year. This is 5 years later, my friends. It's the right timing. He reaches out. He says some things have changed. Look what time it is. 1:17 a.m. I'm ready. I'm hungry. I don't care what time it is. If they're ready, I'm ready. It's 1:17. Look how fast I got back to him. Of course, I've been waiting 5 years. You think I'm going to get back to him like tomorrow? No. I'm ready. Let's go. Let's talk. So finally, we connected, right? I don't know if you guys ever heard me talk about the parable of the sower. Mm-hmm. And I talk about this parable being so important to what we do because the brilliance of the sower is the sower just keeps on sowing seeds. He's not slowing down because some of his seeds don't sprout. He doesn't make judgments as to how fast these seeds should sprout. He doesn't set these faulty expectations that, oh, I planted today, that means I need to have growth tomorrow. Oh, I talked to them today, that means they need to come tomorrow. Oh, I shared a video with them today, this means they need to come next week. Who says? The sower is really good at taking a whole bunch of seeds. For you guys, that's called your story, that's called your heart, that's called your passion, that's called your conviction, that's called your care, that's called your love. That is called optavia. And you just sow it to a whole bunch of people and you keep watering, which is called following up. 5 years, we're talking about a couple weeks. Do you know my mom was the first person I talked to about this program? She was my first practice call. My mom at that time was like 260 pounds, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diuretics. At that time, we didn't even know, but she had some cancer floating around in her body, like all sorts of stuff. Do you know she didn't start our program to February 2018? And I talked to her in May 2012. We're talking about a couple weeks. But what did I do? You think I'm sitting around waiting for one person? You think what if I would have been sitting around waiting for Sean to get back to me? One person. Well, there's like millions of people out there. It's like millions. Everywhere you go, there's millions of them. And I'm going to sit here and get discouraged over a couple people? We got to be much, much better than that. We got to be much stronger than that. I mean, our mission is way too big for that. That'd be like if I was dating right now, right? And I would be going on these dating apps and maybe I would click a couple of these hearts and say, hey, do you want to have coffee or do you want to have dinner? And like 2 girls didn't get back to me. So now I just crumble and I shut down. I say, nobody ever wants to date me. No, I just go and I ask like 500 people. Eventually somebody's going to say yes, right? Like, what do I care about 2 don't get back to me? Like, I'm handsome. You're good looking. Like, you know, like, you just sow a whole bunch of seeds, man. Listen, the timing will be right. Everyone will do this program, but they're not going to do it if you stop. They're not going to do it if you lose your vision, your intention. People, you are a leader. People want to follow people that inspire them. If we stop, if we get discouraged, if we start murmuring, then people do, that is not leadership. People don't want to follow that. You got to be so intent and so focused on what you are going to create that there's this huge fire that is shooting out of your backside and people cannot help but to see that flame. But if that flame goes out, then you're not going to attract. This whole business is about attracting. It's about energy. It's about vibration. I'm not going to follow someone that I don't even believe knows where they're going. I'm not going to do it. You're going to do that? Why would I want to follow someone I don't even know if they know where they're going to go? I'm not going to do it. So we're convicted on what we're going to do. If I set in stone I'm reaching executive director, I've set that in stone. That's what I'm going to do. If you don't get back to me, I love you as a human being. We're all the same. But I am not stopping for 1 person, 2 people, 3 people. I've made a decision that this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to keep sowing my seed until the right people start showing up. That's what it comes down to. It comes down to being convicted. I have not stopped for 1, 2, 3 people in 6 years. I've decided what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it. And if sister-in-law, you're not ready, God bless your heart. I'm going to be here when you're ready. Maybe you know some people that actually want to join me in this mission right now. Mother-in-law, if you're not ready, God bless your heart. Thank you so much for being a champion of me, for being a stower of good seed, for constantly feeding me with positive energy. If you're not ready, maybe you know some people that are ready right now. What I'm not going to do is I'm not slowing down. I'm not stopping. I've set my intentions. I know what I'm going to do. And I just need to go find the people that are ready now. If they're not ready now, no big deal. I just put them in a system. So if they're not ready, write this down on your paper. We call it NBD. No big deal. Why is it no big deal? I'm going to tell you why. In this organization, in this company, life is about abundance. There's no shortage of blessings on earth. There's none. So everything that we do, we realize that there's an infinite amount of it. There's no shortage of it. So that's why it's no big deal, because if one person's not ready, then that means that there's hundreds more that are ready. My job is I just need to go find them. And if you seek, you will what? Every single time. If you ask, you shall what? But does it say if you ask once? If you ask twice? If you ask in your expectations, you get it now? No, it doesn't tell us that. The power of the stories is if you seek until, my friends, if you keep seeking, then you'll find. If you keep asking, then you'll receive. It doesn't say to keep asking from this person. It says keep asking. There's 7.5 billion people on this planet. Why are we still getting hung up over 2, 3, 4, 7, 9, 10 people? Billion. There are like 360 million people in the United States alone. What do I care if a couple people are not ready right now? Especially with social media. 7.5 billion people on this planet, 3.5 billion use Facebook. What do I care if a couple people are not getting back to me? There's like 3 other billion I could reach out to. Does this make sense? This is the strength. There's 3 things that separate coaches. Skill sets, which we're working on right now, right? Mindset. Mindset generally is what holds most coaches back. Like this, a couple people aren't getting back to me. We got to get stronger in our mindset, in our convictions, in our concepts. This is when we talk about the strong human being, the one that doesn't see any limitations. If one door closes, we say thank you, because that means 7 or 8 more are about to open up. That is the conviction that we need to go serve more people. And then the last thing is action. How many? How many people are we actually reaching out to? So I hope seeing Sean, who's on, Sean's like, how the heck did I get wrapped into this? My bad, bro. But I just thought it was kind of funny. 5 years, man, but now he's here, you know, so the timing is right. I think he's coming out to Utah, which is good. He's only been coaching for a couple weeks, not even a couple weeks. Maybe 2 weeks. I think his wife is down already like 10 pounds or something. He's flying out to Utah, I believe. So let me show you guys. You want me to show you how to keep conversations going? I want to show you guys how simple it is. See, a big part of sponsoring is you guys know we have 6 habits of transformational leadership, right? Basically, these 6 habits teach us how to build a business as big as we want. One of the habits says we connect authentically and we cultivate trust. Let me show you another conversation, and then I'm going to answer Susan's question, then go back to Susan and figure out what she's actually saying and doing, because her skills might be off, but something tells me it's more of a mindset thing. Let me show you a conversation that happened, and then take you through how it ended up to where we got. Is that cool? Man, you guys are getting all the secrets. I didn't even plan on showing you all this stuff. Okay, so let me take you to Kevin. Okay, so part of our 3x3x3 is we add 3 new friends on social media every single day, right? Right? Just nod or blink or sneeze or something. Let a brother know that you're here. Okay. So can you guys see this okay? Should I make it bigger? Susan, can you see this?
Yep.
Okay, maybe. Is that better? That's actually, I don't like that. Okay, so basically I added Kevin on Facebook, like we're trained to do, right? You guys know that's part of 3x3x3, right? We add new friends. So I still do this. So when I added him, I waved at him. Hey, what's up, man? And I said, thanks for the ad, brother. How do you know Megan Moses? Kind of cool, right? We're just starting what? Conversations, like we say. He says, through Facebook, she knows a mutual friend of mine. I said, nice. I see you're in the health and wellness. Are you a personal trainer? How do I know he's in the health and wellness?
His Facebook, maybe.
It's Facebook, yeah. And he says, no, I'm not, just formerly a skinny guy that works out a lot, but I created a social networking fitness app. So I've been connecting with trainers and people into fitness because I want to help people get fit. I said, love it. That a boy, find something that inspires you and give it away to the world. Look forward to following your posts. He says, thank you. 2018 is about getting the word out to people to use the app, find gym partners or trainers. Do you train? I said, did I reply to him that same day or did I come back to him? Looks like it's the same day, just later on. I said, I'm not much of a trainer these days, mostly yoga. I used to be when I played football in college, and after I graduated, since losing 30 pounds in 6 weeks on program I coach for now, I don't train as hard, but focus a lot on micro habits. See what I did there? What did I just automatically do in this conversation? I started injecting my what?
Your story.
And our story is the most what?
Powerful.
Powerful thing that we have. That's right. That's right. So I took it upon myself to inject my story into this conversation. You guys see how fast that happened? I don't even know him. He says, do you train? I said, no, but let me tell you a little part of my story. And I just automatically injected some pictures in there, which I wish I still looked like that, man. I got to step my game up. Ooh, that looked good back in the day. Oh, man. Okay. So anyway, I just got myself excited. That's from being in the gym a few times a week for no longer than 30 minutes and doing yoga, blah, 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 and following our program. We are only looking for what?
People that are looking for us.
Yes. Man, you guys been keeping up with these. So if this dude is interested in anything that I'm saying right now, what do you think he's going to say?
What are you doing?
Okay. Does that tell you he's looking for me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Impressive progress. I've been thinking of trying yoga mostly because sometimes I feel stiff and could use flexibility. What program is it? It's amazing he asked me that. I mean, I can't believe it. It's almost like it's like we train on this or something. So I said it's called Optavia. Now I'm going to swiftly move past that. Looking over your profile, you probably would love being a certified Optavia coach. How long have I been talking to him? How many days?
One.
One. And I'm approaching already. Why? Well, you're going to hear. You could combine all your expertise as a sociology major, all the techniques you've learned in social work, and your passion for health, fitness, wellness all into one. Plus, you could do very well financially. When I first started coaching for this program, I worked full-time in medical sales and just had my coaching business part-time. And within 2 months, was earning about $3,000 a month just from coaching. We started doing so well financially. I left my full-time job and just decided to run my own business. Now we're earning over $40,000 a month. So we get to help a lot of people, but have a lot of time freedom as well. Not sure if it's a fit for all you have going. All I know, that's a phrase I would start using a lot. All I know is just from looking over your profile, and if you did decide to do it, you'd be really great at it. It could be something that you can easily combine into what you're currently doing, multiple streams of income, and ways of providing value to people who are looking for better health. I don't know him, but what did I take the time to do? Go through his what? Facebook. I learned that he got his undergrad in I think psychology, went on to get a master's in social work. I saw all these basketball pictures on there. He loved to lift weights. He started his own fitness app. At this point, this dude's a coach. So I approached him. He says, that sounds interesting. I might be interested. Now, Yadira, I want you to see when this all started taking place. So this is basically December 24th, 2017, right? You guys write that date down. December 24th, 2017. So he says, I might be interested. I said, great. Here's a webinar and overview I did recently. Had about 500 tune into this. Give it a peek. If it fits your philosophy, let me know. We can meet up. I'll explain and answer more questions. So I layered him. So one of the cadence to sponsoring is approach, layer with a video, explore, follow up. You guys got that? Approach, layer with the video before you do the explore, then explore coaching, then we're going to follow up. How long are we going to follow up? The answer is until. What does until mean? Until they get bright enough to start our program. I don't know how long that's going to be. Shauna took 5 years. My mom took 6 years. Some people are credit card throwers. It takes 10 minutes. I just know until. So he says, I'll check it out later. Thanks. I said, my pleasure. Now, a couple days later, 4 days later, right? He comes back. He says, I looked into Optavia a little the other day. This weekend, I'm going to look into more. It looks interesting. I said, I love it. What's your schedule like next week? Let's link up. I can explain more. It'd be good to just network and be around more guys who are out there doing positive things in the world. Let me know. He says, I live in Sacramento. I'll be moving down there next month, but I'd love to link up when I move. Watch how interested I become in him. Now, what do we say? Be more interested than interesting. You guys ever heard us say that? Be more interested in them than interesting yourself. So what does this mean? It means I want to fall in love with their story. How do you do that? I ask a ton of questions. So watch. This is what we train on. You guys are getting a real life picture of it. So he says, I live in Sacramento. I said, oh, I thought you were in the Inland Empire for some reason. Why did I think he was in the Inland Empire? That's what the kid's Facebook said. So I said, okay, well, let's skip this coffee date then. He says, I moved out here a year ago. Watch what I do. How do you like it? I've only been there once. What am I doing? I'm being more what? Interested. He could have just said, I moved out here a year ago, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, my conversation's going to stop because I'm not interested in this person. But if I'm interested and he's willing to go back and forth with me, then the conversation's going to go forever. So he says, Sacramento is okay. Lots of good places to eat. Traffic isn't that bad. I've never been here before I move. What did I say? What did I say? Why'd you move? Am I being more interested in him? He says, because I was way underpaid working for the county. I work for the state now. Very cool. What were they paying you before and what are they paying you now? You dear, would you ask this question? Susan, would you ask this question? Abigail, would you ask this question?
Yes, I would ask. I would ask.
Good. Because if you ask this question, you realize you're more than a weight loss coach. You realize that you're a transformational coach that can help people with every single area of their life, not just weight. So I'm always going to dig. I'm always going to ask. Because if they're suffering in these areas, guess who can help them? Me. But our program isn't just a weight loss program. So what did he tell me? I was making about $4,000 a month with the county, plus I could do overtime. My salary just went up to about $6,200 a month after my raise this month. Now, I want you guys to annualize $6,200 a month. 6,200 times 12 is what? About $75,000 a month, okay? This puts Kevin in the top 5% of wage earners in the country. It puts him in the top 1% of wage earners in the world. I want this to be very clear. $75,000 a year it's a really good salary. You guys agree? Okay.
Yeah.
So what do I say? That a boy. He says, thanks. Okay, January 3rd now. So we're moving, right? So this conversation didn't just happen a day, 2 days, 3 days. Now it's extended out. Finally had a chance to look into Optavia. Awesome. What did you enjoy about it? Don't I train on this? I don't say, what do you think? We always ask a question that elicits a positive response. Like I feel like I'm going through my slides right now on our Saturday morning boot camps. This is what I say to do. So what did you enjoy about it? The variety of different plans and options for food. See, he thinks our program's a weight loss program, which is okay. But there's so much to what we do. I don't even know what we do half the time. So he's stuck on food, which is fine. So now I start to move him away from that. The coaches, the community are super important. The most important is the behavioral modification. Why did I say this? Because the dude is a what? What does he do for work? He's a social worker.
He's a social worker.
They have to learn how to change their habits. If they don't, doesn't matter what they'll do, they'll always go back to what's easy. That's the most impressive part to me about this program for clients. It teaches them how to change the way that they think. Same thing with our coaches by making them work and come face to face with their habits, triggers, deficiency. If it piqued your interest, let's hop on a video chat, blah, blah, blah. Sounds similar to what I do with my patients. Yeah, that's why I said all this stuff. So anyway, you're free to talk tomorrow? Yes. This is January 14th now, by the way, almost 10 days later. You guys see this, right? What if I just sat around waiting for 2 weeks, 3 weeks for Kevin to come around? Kevin's going to be that last client. Kevin's going to be that last coach that I need. Let me just sit around and wait for Kevin and waste my life away because Kevin's going to be that one that I need to fill up this line. No, are you kidding me? Like I said, there are millions of people out there. Why am I just going to be sitting around waiting for Kevin? No, Kevin's just one dude. He's going to come when he's ready to come. So January 15th, Martin Luther King Day. Kevin, you available around 1? If not, let's set something up for tomorrow. 1 is fine. So we hop on. I teach him how to download to Zoom, all this stuff. Now, here's important. I ask him for his email address and his number. Now, this email is important. 1, because I'm going to set a reminder in my calendar, and I'm going to put his email in there so that Kevin gets a reminder as well. So when it's time for our call, guess what's going to pop on his phone? A reminder, right? Also, his number is important. Also, with this email, I'm going to put him into my database. So when I'm sending out my connections emails every 2 weeks, guess who's going to start to get layered every 2 weeks, forever? Kevin. So I tell him, check your email when you get a minute. I also just added you to our client support here on Facebook, so you can check that out. So I talked to him. He says, yeah, I'm scrolling through, want to check my email, blah, blah, blah. Okay, January 31st, we have just completed a full month of chatting with each other to a dude I didn't even know. So we get on, I invite him to another trilogy call. What am I doing? I'm layering him again. He wasn't ready, apparently, 2 weeks ago. So now I'm layering him again. We did another Exploring Health Coaching trilogy call. So he says, I'm going to be on a few minutes late. I said, of course, man, just hop on. Can't join. Let's try now, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, February 3rd. So what's up, man? Let's do this. Want to jump on board? Yes, sir. I'm interested. Let's do it, man. Order your business kit and let's roll. Watch this. I want to, but like you talked about, people living paycheck to paycheck, that's me currently. I use what I had saved to move, and since I transferred, they have to mail my check, blah, blah, blah. Now, I just told you, 75 grand a year is good, isn't it? Abigail, that's good salary, right?
Yes.
Why is Kevin broke?
He's not ready.
He's broke because he doesn't have great habits. I'm going to let you in on a little bit of secret. He could be earning $200,000 a year. And if he has poor financial habits, he's still going to be broke, living paycheck to paycheck. The statistics are the same. This is why I keep saying most 70% of the people that we walk past, whether they're driving a Pinto or a BMW, still fit into these statistics. 70% of them don't have more than about $2,000 saved. Most of them are not contributing to their 401ks. Most of them cannot go 6 months without being completely bankrupt. It doesn't matter if he was making $300,000 a year, because when most people make more money, they figure out a way to spend more money. What do you think we can do with all these folks by bringing them into a community and showing them every single week how to have more what? Money. So this is why you never get fooled about what you see on the outside. This is why we do a very good job of becoming more interested with really figuring out what the nitty gritty is. Now Kevin's a coach. You see him on all the trainings and stuff. We're about to blow this thing up. I promise you, if he decides to stay here, if he decides to follow the systems, if he decides to listen, if he decides to be coachable, he will never, ever, ever have to say this again. Ever. If he stays. But if he decides this is too much for him, that's fine. And we love him. What I know is, if he stays, this will not be his reality for much longer. Ever. And same thing with his kids for generations to come, because he's going to learn how to actually do it. Don't even get me started. Okay, so anyway, all good, man. Timing has to be right. So now it's February 4th, right? So he says, it should be this week. I'll be fine when I get my check. Got to call Monday. Okay, so he hits me back February 5th. This is how much I'm not waiting for people. He hits me back. He says, let's do this. I said, wait, you ready? Are we still waiting for Monday? I didn't even realize that that day was Monday, because I'm not waiting around for Kevin. If Kevin's bright, Kevin will do this program. He'll start coaching, and he will start to get this tutelage. You see what I'm saying? So now it's February 5th. It's like 2 months later. From an original conversation that I started with a dude I didn't even know. You guys starting to catch on to this? In this same time frame, I probably sponsored a good 7 and 9 coaches and brought on tons of clients. I'm not waiting around for 1 or 2 people when there's all these people out there that need us. Kevin is a case study for what the typical American human being, what their life is like. They go to school. They waste all this money. They get master's degrees. They're still broke. And it's like that for a reason, because that's the way that we're taught. But if he sticks around, I guarantee you it's going to change. See what I'm saying? So we got to be so focused on what it is that we want. What are we going to create? Who are we going to help? Who are we going to serve? And if they don't get back to us, no, what do we say? NBD. No big deal. It's all good. I keep pushing. Keep going to find the next person. Man, we only have 5 minutes. That's crazy. I spent an hour talking about that? How does that happen? It's like this, just get into like this, I don't know, this dark hole or something. Okay, Susan, was that helpful?
Yes, it is. But the only thing, and like you said, my mindset is still in progress. So, that's one of the things I'm still working on.
Mm-hmm.
So we set these goals. We prepare our map, and then we have this goal, and we work really hard every day. And yes, we're not necessarily waiting for the 1 or 2. We keep approaching other people. But I don't know. I just really wanted to hit my goal this month, and it's, I'm still working on it. So what's a better way to take that? If I don't make my goal, it just keeps pushing out and pushing out and pushing out. And, I want to get over that hump.
Mm-hmm. So let me answer this a couple ways. So your goal is executive director, yes?
Right.
And did you want to do that with all clients or a combination of clients and coaches?
Right. Well, I was trying to do, combination, but if not, then I was going to go, client.
Okay. So let me say this. First of all, we got a ton of time left in a month. But remember, I told you, we attract what we're feeling, whether we know it or not. So this is why it's so important to keep our energy. I call it in flow. If you keep your energy in flow, then you will attract these people if we're actually doing the work, which I believe that you're doing the work, by the way. So this is why if you're not feeling good, we want to shift that as soon as possible. So the best way to shift it is to start, one, to realize I'm feeling a little bit down. I'm feeling a little bit discouraged. Let's just call it, I'm pissed off. I'm feeling frustrated, right? Like I feel like I'm doing this work and stuff is not happening. So the first thing is we want to recognize that that's the way that we're feeling. So it's almost like you're here and now you're going to come out here and look at yourself and say, wow, Susan, like really? Like you're really upset right now, or you're really discouraged, or you're really pissed off, or you're really whatever. So you want to become in tune to that, present to that. We have to be aware, be conscious that we're even feeling this way. And then the next question is is thinking like this and is feeling like this serving me? Is it helping me get closer to where I want to go and who I intend to be? Is it keeping me the same, or is it pushing me further away? These are really important questions to ask ourselves. Is me feeling like this getting me closer to where I want to go, or is it pushing me further away? And then we have to answer that. We have to say, well, it is keeping you the same, or it's pushing you further away because you're discouraged. And now the next question is, okay, how can I change this thought? How can I change these thoughts right now to a thought that actually serves me? And this is where the work comes in, because it's not always going to be easy, because your ego is going to want to be right. I don't know how I can change it. I shouldn't have to change it, right? Like it should just happen like this. Or these people should just be getting back to me, or these people shouldn't be upset, or this person shouldn't have said anything, or whatever. So you're going to have to work. You're going to say, how can I change this thought in a way that actually serves me? And that's where the work comes in. And then once you change it and it starts to serve you, and you know that it serves you because now you shift it back into good energy. And now we get back into action. And now we're not it's not counterintuitive, the work that we're doing, because we want the work that we're doing. We want to attract goodness, abundance, of blessings. We're not going to do that if we stay in the energy field that's not conducive to that. So this is why it's so important to start to learn how to change. I call it being a surgical master of our minds. It is one of the most important things that we do, is learning how to control our thoughts, the thoughts that actually serve us. Okay, now I want you to buy this book. It's called The Practicing Mind. Okay? This book really saved my career as a coach, because when I set goals and I don't hit them, I get very, very upset. And Susan, you're extremely bright. You've been you've been very successful. And I know when you set goals, you intend to hit them. And when they don't start to be met, it's a little bit frustrating. So what I want you to start doing now, for all of those people that set goals like I set goals, is I want you to go to the future and I want you to set those goals in place, meaning I'm going to do this. And then I want you to come back to the present. And the only thing I want you to fall in love with is not the goal, but fall in love with the action steps that it takes to reach this goal. I want to be very, very clear on what I'm saying right now. because people will burn out in this business and they'll let these very small things ruin something that can it's not even that it can change their lives, but it will change their great grandchildren's lives. We will be dead for like 200 years, and your lineage will still be affected by what you're doing today. That is so powerful. I hope you just got chills like I did. But people will destroy that because they will set goals and they'll cling on so tightly to these goals and their faulty expectations as to when these goals should be met. Which, yes, it'd be awesome if the goal is met then. But sometimes it's not. Sometimes life gets in the way. Sometimes we need to build a bigger sphere of influence. Sometimes we need to work on our skills a little bit more. Sometimes things happen, right? So, but what I do know is I am going to do this. What I don't know necessarily is when that's going to happen. I knew that I was going to be a global director. I didn't know when that was going to happen. I knew that I was, eventually going to become a millionaire. I didn't know when that was going to happen. I just knew that that's what we were going to do. I knew eventually we would have a huge organization. I honestly thought that would happen like 3 years ago. And now we're still on this journey. I thought that we could change the culture to a sponsoring mindset in a couple of months. We've been going on a year and a half. So, but I know it's going to happen. So set those goals in stone, but then come back here and fall in love with the little things that it takes to reach these goals. What are the little things? I'm going to fall so deeply in love with this 3x3x3 thing. I'm going to fall in love with reaching out and cultivating authentic conversations. I'm going to fall in love with doing health assessments. I'm going to fall in love with offering the opportunity. I'm going to fall in love with going to trainings and events. I'm going to fall in love with opening up my house and creating community. I'm going to fall in love with getting on these trainings. I'm going to fall in love with asking questions. I'm going to fall in love with being mentored. I'm going to fall in love with all these little things that if I just keep doing over and over and over and over again, eventually this is going to happen. I know it for a fact. So that's what I want you to focus on. We already know that this is going to happen because I said it's going to happen. And Susan, if I know anything about you, you cannot become an engineer without setting goals and deciding that this is what I'm going to happen. I know a little bit more about your background too, which I'm really fascinated by, with all of the obstacles that's been there, but those obstacles are always the way. We seek growth and we embrace the obstacles as a way. So I know that this is going to happen for you. What I would suggest is come back to the present and now fall in love. How much better can I get with offering an invitation? How much better can I get with asking questions? How much longer can I go without being frustrated? So if someone didn't get back to me, generally it would take me 2 seconds before I got frustrated. Let's see if I can fall in love with extending that. Maybe it's only 4 seconds now, but I'm getting better. Eventually it's going to be 15 seconds. Eventually a minute. Eventually it's not even going to affect you. Those are the things I want you to fall in love with. Fall in love with those things. Fall in love with how long you can have a conversation without actually talking, but only asking questions. Try it. See if you can go all day tomorrow and have beautiful conversations, but you not say anything. The only thing you do is ask questions. That will separate you. I want you to fall in love with those little things. You are going to hit executive director. You are going to go global. You are going to build wealth for you and your family that you can't even fathom right now. I can't even believe, guys, we paid $27,000 in taxes last month. In taxes. In taxes. That was more than my wife made all year. That's what we paid in taxes. Okay, so can't even fathom what's about to come your way. fall in love with these little things every single day. And I guarantee you, if you do that over time with consistency without breaking momentum, eventually you are going to hit these things. So that's what we fall in love with. That's the practicing mind. The practicing mind is about getting very, very good with these little things. And as you get good with those, eventually massive things happen. So that's what I would get good with. So keep up with the 3x3x3. Some of the verbiage for the way that we're approaching, I would switch a little bit. But it just comes down to doing it with more people. And the one thing that I would encourage this group to do, and then I'll finish because we're already 8 minutes over. But you guys are building, like I was on the phone earlier with James, and I said, James, where are you? Or where have you been? I'm just joking around. And he says, where have you been? Having lunch with CEOs and stuff. And I said, you realize when I have lunch with you, I'm having lunch with a CEO as well. So I want that to sink in, because Yadira, you're a CEO. Abigail, you're a CEO, right? Jose is a CEO. Shadon, Daniel, you're all CEOs of this business and knows no limits. You're sitting in the house right now running the show. Your CFO is probably one of the kids, right? I mean, it's a family business. So we have something that's so incredible. So as you're thinking about sponsoring, I want you to think about, who do I want to come work in my business with me? Who do I want to come work in my business? This is my organization. This is my company. Yadira Garcia, Ultra Health LLC, right? Like, I mean, this is, so who am I looking for? So I would suggest getting crystal clear in the people that you want to bring into your organization. James, I was crystal clear about James. He didn't meet one of my criteria, which is the coaches that I sponsor need to be extremely good looking. He didn't meet that one, but all the other ones he met. He met. He fell a little bit short on that one. But all the other ones he met. Who do I want to bring into my organization? I want to bring people that think in abundance, that have an abundance mentality. No lack or scarcity, because I don't believe we can change the world that way. I believe there's a lot of people that need us. And I believe the more that we have, the more that we can give. So those are the people that I'm looking for. If people don't have that, I'm not necessarily approaching them. I'm looking for people that have high integrity. I don't want to be looking over my back, wondering if they're going to do things the right way or not. I want them to come in and do things that have already been proven that works. And when we go to trainings and stuff, I don't want to be thinking about, are these people going to be, drinking or doing stuff that's going to cause a headache for me. So who do I want to bring into my company? I'm very clear on who I want. I want hardworking people. I want people that are coachable. I want people that want to help more people. I want people with a certain mindset. So these are the types of people that I look for. And I'm very, very clear on them. I want people that want to leave a legacy for their kids, for their kids' kids. Like, those are the sort of people that I'm crystal clear. So as we're sponsoring, get very, very clear on who you are looking for. I'm looking for people that have a large circle of influence and who are already influencers. I don't want to, I'm very good at training a coach on how to build a sphere of influence, but it would be much, much more helpful if they already had a large sphere of influence. Because once I start to show them how to do this 3x3x3 or how to approach, they already have a big sphere of influence. And I'm looking for people who are influencers. these are people that people automatically already listen to. So when they get excited about something, other people automatically get excited. So be very clear on who you're looking for. And when we approach, the approach is, hey, I'm not sure if you'd be interested. All I know is you would make an amazing coach. And Abigail, I really want to move away from this $500 thing. Because listen,
Okay.
we want coaches to come in that have an abundance mindset. Do you know how fast we can show coaches how to earn $500? Why would I want to coach their mindset to stop at 500, which means we're only serving like 6 or 7 people? When I'm looking for coaches that have an abundance mindset, they want to go serve thousands of people. And because they're serving more people, they're bringing more value to the marketplace. And anytime you bring an overtly job of value to the marketplace, the world will pay you more.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why teachers get so upset and they start picketing and they're asking for more money. It's not going to happen because they can only bring a certain amount of value to the marketplace. They can only teach a certain amount of people in a classroom. And because that's the only value they bring, they will never earn more than that. Never. I don't care how much they picket and chant and hope. That's just how it is. We don't have a classroom. We have a world. We have a country. That's why we get paid so much. Mm-hmm. So I don't want someone to come in and just think I can just earn 500 and help 5 people. I mean, we will assist them and help them, but that's not, remember, you're building your brand, your company. Do you want a whole bunch of people in your company that only want to help 5 people?
Mm-mm.
No. Or you better get really comfortable with doing a lot of work with people who are not going to do much. But you're setting that expectation from right up front. There's no way I would do that. You know what I say? You can come in here if you want to start earning like $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Abigail, you get a couple of those people, you're going to be all right. The winter is going to become much, much easier. So don't set the bar low.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to attract that. You want to attract abundance mindset. So if I'm reaching out to them, I'm going to do what I did as a new coach. I'm going to say, hey, I don't know if this would be right for you. All I know is you would make an incredible coach. And then I'm going to tell them about the qualities that they have that I love, just like Kevin. I'm going to say, you have such a circle of influence. You have such a huge heart for people. People love you like no one else. You expect to be great. You're such a hard worker. You know, when I first started this, I didn't think I could do much with it. In a year or so, I'm going to be earning at least $20,000 a month. That's what I said as a brand new coach. I was only earning like a couple $100 or something, you know. But where was my mindset out here? I told you, we go to the future, we put a stake in there, and we say, this is what I'm going to do. So I say, you know, right now I'm earning this, but in a year I'm going to be earning this. But even more than the money, you give a little taste of the income, and then you move off of it. But even more than the money, it's the lives that you get to help impact. It's the text messages of people saying thank you. It's the kids that know your name even though you never met them. You would love that. And the next step is this simple. Are you open to exploring it? Are you open to exploring it? Just see if anything about it makes sense for you. Now, if they say yes, we set up a time. Now, my encouragement is if you don't feel extremely skilled in this yet, then invite, you know, I don't really know whose coach is who, but invite whoever your coach is on to assist you. And if they're not available, that's fine. We always have support teams, right? So then go find somebody else. So set that time to do the Explore call, get their number, get their email address like you saw me do, put that into your calendar, send it to them, and now we're going to send them a trilogy video. So work with your support team to see what's the best one to send this individual, and have them watch it. Say, hey, check this out. When we get on, we'll talk about we'll talk about what you got from this and be able to answer any further questions you have. I'll have my coach on with us, Trust Him With My Life. We'll rock it out. Okay? And we get on. For very first question, you're going to check with this person. Say, hey, I'm telling you, check with this person to make sure that they watch this video before we get on this call. So, hey, can't wait to hop on with you guys tomorrow. You know, Tony, did you have a chance to watch this video? No? Okay, make sure that you watch it. Because when we get on this Explore call, the first question that we're going to ask is, hey, what'd you love about the video?
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? Okay, now if Tony says that he's open to exploring it, or Tony just doesn't get back to me, my mindset automatically goes to what?
No big deal.
No big deal. Why? Because Tony's just one dude. It's like, I mean, I was in yoga this morning. I talked to two dudes. One guy's coming to breakfast with me tomorrow morning. Check out coaching. That's every day. We just look around and open up our mouths and talk to people. I mean, I love Tony as a human being, but Tony has no impetus in my business. There's so many people that are out there, people that are earning hundreds of thousands of dollars that still need us. I mean, this thing is incredible. So if Tony's not ready, no big deal. We just keep going back. You remember we got this little folder thing here? Mm-hmm. We got this list, and we have something called follow-up what?
Friday.
Okay. So what do you think I'm going to do with Tony every Friday until
he's ready?
Okay. So we just see how simple this thing is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I think that's good for tonight. I mean, I guess I could keep going. I could talk about this stuff forever, but I hope that helped. I'm not sure if it did, but I hope it did.
Mm-hmm. Not really.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah.
Susan, those questions to ourselves are so important, right? That's the consciousness. And then make sure, what are you doing for personal development daily?
I don't know. What do you mean?
What do you do to strengthen your mind daily? What are you reading? Who do you listen to?
So I recently started doing some podcasts, about different topics. I don't have one specifically. I'm still looking for something that I like, but I've started to listen to that, and reading some books that I got when I took a class some time ago that have to do with, changing your mindset in terms of, what you just talked about today.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely, I ordered the book that you suggested right now. So I'll get on reading that. And I don't know, if you have suggestions, I'm more than welcome to other options.
Okay, we'll have James send you some things. And let one thing lead to another, sort of like you're doing with the podcast. But at the level that you're at, and moving into executive director, certainly into FIBC and global, then we want to start massaging our minds daily. So, if you're driving and you're listening to, the radio stuff, I would suggest to stop that and now just keep feeding your mind um, with developing yourself over and over and over again, and until you start to know the stuff by heart, and then eventually it starts to happen quick. Something negative will come in, or we call it a limiting belief, and then you've practiced so much that before you even realize that belief popped up, the other side of your brain will change it because you've conditioned it so much. So James, can you send some stuff to Susan, and that way that will help too. So thank you guys for having me on. Remember, fall in love with the little things. That's more important than everything else. Susan, I'm going to send you a video. Should I? There was a mentorship call I had maybe in like 2013, and I was really frustrated because things were not happening as quickly as I thought that they should. And in that video, the woman who was mentoring me, she says the journey is the destination. And I didn't get it back then, but the destination really is all these tiny things that you're going through right now, because to go through them is what's making you grow.
Right.
That is actually the destination, is that growth that occurs to actually get to where we want to get to. And then this dial, by the way, is going to keep moving for people that actually want to continue to grow. So it's like this object that never stays still. So really, the journey is the destination. All this stuff that we're talking about right now, this really is this is the destination, because we have to grow to these certain places. We don't just go there. We have to grow there. So that's what we're doing right now. All right. Well, enough for tonight. I kept you guys 24 minutes over. James, thanks for having me on. Thank you guys for having me on. I hope it was helpful.
Yes, it was. Thank you so much.
He disappeared so quick.
I know.
All right, guys. Wow, that was great. What'd y'all think? Or now, what'd you think? What did you enjoy about that? Right?
Yeah.
It's great.
Man.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I have another call we have to jump on, so we're going to let me see. We're going to stop recording.